Good evening and welcome to our nightly edition of the news. I'm Faye D'Souza. It is the 16th of March. We'll begin the day with updates on the COVID situation, which still remains our most pressing issue, as the central government, to begin with, is concerned about the rise in cases in Maharashtra. Now, in what is a very worrying piece of information, the Union Health Secretary, Rajesh Bhushan, has written to the Maharashtra state government. And in his letter, he has said that Maharashtra is in the beginning of the second wave of COVID-19 as a pandemic. In the letter, Rajesh Bhushan has also warned the state that is, and I quote, very limited effort is on right now to track, test and isolate cases and quarantine contacts. There is no adherence to COVID appropriate behavior among people in both urban and rural Maharashtra, end quote. The centre has also asked the state to focus on containment strategies and scale up its vaccination campaign. Meanwhile, the Maharashtra Health Minister Rajesh Tope has demanded 2.2 crore COVID vaccination doses from the centre after the ongoing inoculation drive in the state is over. According to the state government's letter, they've requested the centre to supply 20 lakh doses per week to the state. Maharashtra, on last count, recorded 15,051 cases in the last 24 hours and 48 deaths. That's marginally lower than the 16,000 it registered in the day before. Gujarat has announced curfews as well. It's decided to impose night curfews in 4 of its major cities, Ahmedabad, Vadodara, Surat and Rajkot, from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. starting tomorrow until the 31st of March. Essential services will remain open during the night curfew. In Madhya Pradesh, in the wake of rising cases, the state government has announced that 2 of its largest cities, Indore and Bhopal, will be placed under night curfews from Wednesday this week, that's the 17th of March. The Madhya Pradesh government has said that night curfew will be implemented in Bhopal and Indore. Markets in 8 cities, Jabalpur, Gwalior, Ujjain, Ratlam, Burhanpur, Chhindwara, Bitul and Khargone will be shut from 10 p.m. onwards starting the 17th of March, but there will be no curfews in these cities. Looking at Punjab, Ludhiana will now vaccinate bankers, judicial officers, employees of schools, employees of food grain agencies, of NGOs and journalists to ensure safety of the wider population in public interest. The Ludhiana Deputy Commissioner Virendra Kumar Sharma has said the decision to expand the ambit of the vaccination drive was taken to ensure a wider population remains safe. Some updates now from Parliament, where a session is currently underway. The government has said that no 2,000 rupee notes have been printed for the last 2 years. Now, this is a bid to prevent hoarding and reduce the circulation of black money. The government has said that no 2,000 rupee notes have been printed since April 2019. The Minister for State for Finance and Corporate Affairs, Anurag Thakur, speaking to Parliament in a written reply, to Lok Sabha, said that during the years of 2019-20 and 2020-21, the indent has been placed with presses for printing 2,000 rupee denomination bank notes. He said that 3,662 million currency notes of 2,000 denomination were in circulation as of the 30th of March 2018. But as of February 26, 2021, only 2,499 million pieces of these notes were in circulation. Remember, the 2,000 rupee notes were introduced after demonetization back in November 2016. Also in Parliament, the Ministry of Home Affairs moved a bill yesterday in Lok Sabha to bring amendments to the act that effectively defines the role of the elected state government and the Lieutenant Governor of Delhi. Now, one of the amendments to what is called the National Capital Territory of Delhi Act basically says that the definition of government in this act, wherever it's mentioned, refers to the Lieutenant Governor of Delhi and not to the elected government. The other says the opinion of the LG has to be sought for any executive action, which basically means that the Delhi government will not be able to make any executive decisions without the LG approving it. The Delhi Chief Minister, Kejriwal, has condemned the bill and called it unconstitutional and anti-democratic. The Delhi Congress Vice President Abhishek Dutt has said the decision was approved by Cabinet in February. Why didn't Kejriwal, who's known for sitting in Dharna's protest against it, all he did was tweet. The BJP has hit back and said the Congress was in power in the state and the centre but failed to give Delhi statehood. Also in Rajya Sabha, the Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has introduced the bill for amendments in the Insurance Act to increase the FDI limit in insurance companies from 49% to 74%. Under the new structure, majority of the directors on the board and key management people will have to be Indian citizens, 50% of the directors will have to be independent, and a specified percentage of the profits will have to be retained in general reserve. The bill was cleared by the Union Cabinet last week and was highlighted by Nirmala Sitharaman in the budget, if you'll remember, on the 1st of February. In 2015, the government had hiked the FDI cap from 26% to 49%. It now goes up to 74%. And in other news coming in today, bank unions may go on an indefinite strike, like the farmers. According to the Hindustan Times, on the second day of the 2-day nationwide bank strike, bank unions have threatened to go in for a bigger and indefinite strike, sort of mirroring the ongoing farmer strike if the centre doesn't adhere to their demands. Their demands are against effectively the proposed privatization and disinvestment plan for public sector banks. The strike was initiated by the United Forum of Bank Unions, the umbrella body for 9 bank unions of public sector banks. The strike comes after Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman announced in the budget last month that the government will continue to privatize and disinvest public sector banks. The Narcotics Control Bureau has now moved the Supreme Court challenging the bail that was granted to actor Rhea Chakraborty in the Sushant Singh Rajput case by the Bombay High Court in October last year. This case will be heard on Thursday this week. Rhea Chakraborty was granted bail after a month of her arrest over the drugs-related charges in the Sushant Singh Rajput case. She was accused of being an active member of a drug syndicate by the Narcotics Bureau and for financing narcotics used by Sushant Singh Rajput. Now, you'll remember the High Court in October last year granted her bail and said, and I quote, that she was not part of a chain of drug dealers and she has not forwarded drugs allegedly procured by her to somebody else for monetary benefits. Earlier this month, the NCB named 33 people, including Ms. Chakraborty and her brother, in a charge sheet filed before the special court in Mumbai. In Bangalore, almost a week after a customer accused a Zomato delivery person of assault, an FIR has been filed against the woman now, Ms. Hitesha Chandrani, based on the complaint by the Zomato delivery agent. She's been accused of wrongful restraint, assault, intentional insult, and criminal intimidation. To give you context, the woman put out a video a week ago claiming that she had been assaulted by a Zomato delivery personnel called Mr. Kamraj, who had delayed the delivery and then assaulted her when she asked him about it. This was the 9th of March. At that point, an FIR was registered against Kamraj. Mr. Kamraj has now alleged that the woman misbehaved with him, and he basically said that Ms. Chandrani had in fact refused to pay for the food, and when the delivery was late, she swore at him, flung slippers at him, and then accidentally, allegedly hurt herself in the process. Zomato in a statement has said that they're in touch with both individuals and are also assisting the police. In Bengal, Mamata Banerjee at a rally has promised free ration to the people of Bengal to be delivered to their doorsteps when voted into power. She said the TMC government will remain in power. You will continue to get free ration. We will deliver the ration to your doorstep. You will not have to come to the shop after May. She also said she would give 1,000 rupees as pension to all widows and 2,000 rupees as pension to all tribals aged above 60. Remember, the elections in Bengal for the Legislative Assembly slated between March 27th and April 29th. Results will be out on the 2nd of May. And on to some business news coming in right now. According to Bloomberg, Hyderabad-based Gland Pharma shares jumped to a record high after it struck a deal with Russia to supply the Sputnik vaccine. According to the deal, Gland Pharma will supply 223 million doses of the vaccine. Production is expected to start in the 3rd quarter of this year. Delivery will start in the 4th quarter. Let's quickly take a look at what's happening in the world of international news as well. According to Reuters, a new coronavirus variant has been found in France, in the French region of Brittany. The French health minister said initial analysis does not show this new variant to be more serious or transmissible than the others. It is also said the new variant has been found in a cluster of cases in a hospital center in Lannon. Also coming in from Rome, in what is a disappointing statement made by the Vatican on Monday. The Vatican has said that priests cannot bless same-sex unions and such unions are not valid. Blessing of homosexual unions cannot be considered illicit, said the Vatican's top doctrine official. The Congregation of the Doctrine of Faith wrote in a statement. Reports have said that Pope Francis, who has frequently been praised for being more welcoming towards LGBTQI people, both within and outside the church, had worryingly approved this note. Also, according to Reuters, the encrypted messaging app Signal appeared to no longer be working in China. Without the use of the virtual private network on Tuesday morning, Signal's website is not accessible either. Signal had been downloaded close to 5 lakh times on iOS in China and 100 million times worldwide in the App Store and Google Play combined. In Myanmar, according to a local monitoring group, 20 people were killed on Monday after another day of protest and unrest. Over 180 people have been killed and 2,000 detained since the coup on the 1st of February. The country has been in uproar since the military ousted democratically elected leader Aung San Suu Kyi from power, and thousands have been staging protests on the street. Also, Buckingham Palace has reportedly hired a team of independent lawyers to investigate bullying claims made against Meghan Markle that she allegedly bullied her staff, although the palace has issued a statement saying they will not be providing public commentary into this investigation. The move comes after the big interview that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle gave to Oprah Winfrey, accusing the palace effectively of racism. Also, update now from the world of science and technology. A Hong Kong scientist has developed a method to use machine learning and artificial intelligence to scan the retinas of children as young as 6 to detect autism or the risk of autism early. According to a report in Reuters, this high-resolution camera with the new computer software, which analyzes a combination of fiber layers and blood vessels in the eye, will help people detect autism early. Benny Zi, a professor at the Chinese University of Hong Kong, hopes to develop a commercial product later this year. Quick look at everything happening in the world of sports as well. Due to rising cases of COVID-19 in the state of Gujarat, the BCCI has said the remaining 3 T20 international matches between India and England in Ahmedabad will be played without spectators. The 3 matches are scheduled on Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday of this week. Also, to leave you with a bit of positive news before we wrap up, the Health Ministry has said that over 30 lakh people were vaccinated against COVID in the last 24 hours alone. That's a highest number in one day so far. It also said that the total number of people vaccinated for COVID-19 is 3.29 crore people altogether, and 58 lakh out of them have received 2 doses, which means they're fully safe. The vaccination beneficiaries above the age of 60 have crossed 1 crore. On that note, remember to stay safe, wear your mask, maintain social distance, and if you do qualify for a vaccine, do try and get your vaccine as well. We'll leave you there. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good night.